To create a proposal, also known as an internal processing form or IPF in Cayuse SP, click on Cayuse SP and then click on Start New Proposal in the proposal dashboard. On this screen, enter the basic or general information of the proposal, starting with the sponsor. Now, if you search for a sponsor and they do not appear, search for them again, double check the spelling, and if they really aren't in our system, then enter miscellaneous sponsors. This will allow you to proceed with preparing the proposal or IPF, and then later under the Submission Notes tab, provide as much information as you have regarding the sponsor so we can add them into the Cayuse system. So after finding the sponsor, you fill out the other fields as shown here, and the prime funding agency field, you only fill this out if UC Davis is receiving a sub-award. Flow through funds, where this is the main sponsor, and then the sponsor that is going to be forwarding us money is a prime recipient, and then we are the subrecipient of additional funds that they are carving out from that award and forwarding to us. If there are no flow-through funds, then you just leave this field blank. For admin unit, you select the main administrative unit. Primary administrative contact, this should be you, or it could be somebody else. This is the person the sponsor programs office should contact if they have any questions regarding this proposal. Short project name, this is described up top how it should be entered. It is the submission deadline, the PI's last name, and the sponsor, the University of Liechtenstein. So enter the start and end dates. For activity code, you click on this link and you select the appropriate activity from a list. Same with proposal type. Click and select the appropriate proposal type. The submission method, instrument type. Affiliated unit, this isn't used too often, but if you want to add a unit to have them review and authorize this IPF, then you could add them here. They would be different from the admin unit. Sponsor deadline. We appreciate time and military time. Make sure you select the appropriate time zone. Usually it's receipt instead of postmark. And then put the full title of the project here. Do not create a paired proposal or pair with 424, as this creates technical issues downstream. Leave these blank and hit save. Then this will bring you to an item list. On the left-hand side, there will be only one green check mark next to this first field that you completed, this first tab. And you just work your way down, completing each of the tabs and getting a green check mark next to each. So a few things to pay attention to. Under personnel, you enter the info, but you may not know how many person months someone's percentage effort equates. Just click on this link. It'll open a PDF and you can use that where you'll enter 2% effort for someone, in this case, who has a 9-month appointment, and it'll give you 0.18 months in person months. Under the budget, since the sponsor programs office highly recommends that you attach a detailed internal budget as well as a budget justification. Here in the IPF, you don't need to provide a detailed budget. You can just do the summary and note that the left column is the current period and the right column is all of the periods combined. So if there is cost share involved, you would click yes, and you would complete the fields as indicated. Cost share is when a unit of the university or a third party are providing funds that we otherwise would request from the sponsor to support the project. And if cost sharing is involved, you must provide written written letter of support for that cost share. When you get to the F&A rates, you can click on these fields and it'll open the rates. So you select the appropriate one, whether it's on campus or off campus. Just because field work is done off campus, and that may be a majority of the project, does not mean it's an off-campus project. Contracts and grants accounting have a page that help you determine whether something is on or off campus. And you just enter all the information here answer the last question. And as you go, keep hitting save. So a lot of the tabs will just ask questions. And if you don't have the answers, then ask the PI for the answers to those questions, whether there are hazardous materials. So this IPF will be routed, and the PIs and any co-PIs will certify that the information is accurate and that if awarded, they will be responsible. And also the department chair, and in the schools of medicine and veterinary medicine, the dean's offices will review all this information and authorize it on behalf of the department and the school or college. And this is all before it arrives to the sponsored programs office, who will do the institutional review. So if there's a subrecipient, if we are going to forward money to another institution, you would just type their name, add them here. Let's see, location-sponsored activities. This is only for UC Davis work. So 50% here is at the dairy teaching facility, 50% is at another location in California. Proposal attachments is where you would attach the scope of work, budget justification, and budget. Approving units, make sure there's not a gap in the routing order. You don't want to jump from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. You can have 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, but no gaps. That will lead to the routing being stuck. And if it looks good, then you authorize it. And now there's a green check mark next to that. The only field that doesn't need a green check mark is the submission notes tab, but add as much information here as would speed the review by the department and by the sponsored programs office. And then once you have all the green check marks, you submit for routing. You can ask the PI to submit, so then they can immediately go in and certify and tell any co-PIs to certify, or you can submit it and then ask them to do that. If the IPF routes through the departments and gets to the sponsored programs office, but the certifications have not been done by the PI or co-PI, it's going to be returned, and that'll delay the whole submission. So get the certifications done. So hopefully this was helpful.